What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. Today's video is going to be really fun. We're going to go over just a few last-minute tips for prepping for Wrath while we're in pre-patch. The aim of this video is really just to give different tips that you maybe haven't heard of yet, haven't thought of yet, or that no one has mentioned online as far as I'm aware. So let's jump right into it, and hopefully you can learn something today. First tip is I think Aldor and Scryer Exalted is going to be way more valuable for you than you actually think. Take this for example. The Aldor Exalted Shoulder Enchant is the exact same as the Sons of Hodir Honored Shoulder Enchant. Now, of course, Sons of Hodir Exalted is going to be our best in slot shoulder enchant, but keep in mind, we've been having ridiculous queues lately. Not only that, if you're going to be fighting the queue boss for the first couple weeks of the expansion, or if you're going to run into just an overwhelming mass population of people doing dailies that it just ends up being difficult for you to complete your dailies for Sons of Hodir, or if you just wanted to purchase all the Relics of Aldor to get to Exalted early on, that might be a fortune for you. So the time to complete Sons of Hodir Exalted might be way longer than we're used to or expecting it to be. That's just going to be the nature of it. Can you get Exalted in one day? Of course, like just buy all the Relics of Aldor you want. It's not going to be that difficult, but I'm telling you right now, the Aldor and Scryer Exalted Shoulder Enchants are going to be really useful for you. Good quality of life until you hit Sons of Hodir Honored, which won't be too bad. And then once you have Honored, you can ride that out for a while until you hit Exalted. Again, this is minor stuff, but it would help you out just in case you had some really unlucky scenarios hitting your server. Another tip is make sure that your guilds are predetermining who's getting which cooking recipes. Look, these cooking recipes take time to learn. You have to get the dailies complete by cooking in order to learn these recipes that a lot of classes want, and that just sheer takes time. The fish feast one, you have to get all the way up. The dragonfin fillet requires, I want to say 3 daily turn-ins, so it takes a while. So just make sure you're splitting it up. Make sure you have at least 3 people per raid team with cooking, so that way you can cover all the good stuff that you want, like the strength food, the hit food, the agility food, the haste food, the pet food, the fish feast, all that good stuff. Make sure that you're just predetermining those recipes, unless you just want to purchase it straight from the auction house. Another thing is it's actually extremely cheap for jewel crafting to level from 350 to 375 in Wrath of the Lich King. And that's probably the case for other professions as well, but I know that basically everyone is going to be jewel crafting. So just a quick little tip, you don't need to go from 350 to 375 right now in pre-patch. I know a lot of people are thinking about maxing out their jewel crafting, but that's going to be really expensive for you. If you think about it, you're actually able to learn something like Enduring Dark Jade, for example, which again, you get that at 350 and you can run that all the way to 375. Hell, you could craft this till 395. That's how long it'll last you. That costs maybe 20 to 40 gold. That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket, dude. For 25 skill points, that's really easy for you. In terms of how you can get the Dragon's Eye crafts, you need to, one, have 375 jewel crafting so that you can do the daily to get the currency to purchase the pattern. After that, you actually technically only need 370 jewel crafting to craft the Dragon's Eyes. So it's really done at that point. So if you didn't feel like maxing out your jewel crafting for, you know, maybe purposes of making gold on the side or crafting gems for your guild or your buddies or just for yourself or whatever, you don't have to. And once you hit 375, you're done. If you have 375 jewel crafting, great, you're done already. Just go start doing the dailies and then you're good to go. Another tip is mix up your dungeon groups once you hit level 80. On the left here, I'm actually displaying the dungeon group that I'm leveling with. It's Double Death Knight, Feral, Prot Warrior, Holy Paladin. Me and my buddies, this is what we're going to do. Is this the most optimal thing in the world? No, probably not, but we're going to have fun. It's going to be 5 of us. We're going to blast, and we'll hit 80 at a decent hour, and it'll be fun. When we hit 80, we're already planning to go our separate ways because the last thing we want to do is have a full physical comp competing for all the same heroic gear that we want. That would just be silly, you know? Instead, try to mix up your dungeon groups, play with different people, meet someone new, or just join a different group within your guild. That way you're not competing for loot with each other. Do something like the group on the right side here that just completely mixes it up. Hunter's getting all the mail gear, Death Knight can get all the plate gear, Priest getting all the healing gear, Mage gets all the caster gear, and Druid can get all the leather gear, just for example. That's something that you can do when you hit 80. Another thing, this one has been mentioned a lot, but I just want to make sure that you guys are fully on board with this one, is it only costs 150 gold to swap engineering from, like, say, Gnomish to Goblin, which you will want to be Goblin in Wrath of the Lich King, because without Goblin, you won't be able to use global thermal sapper charges. Previously, you didn't need to be Goblin to use these sapper charges. You just needed to be Goblin to craft them in, say, Classic and in the Burning Crusade. But that's not the case anymore in Wrath. You have to be Goblin to use them. So you're going to want to go visit this NPC in this north part of Tanaris. You actually don't talk to him. You talk to a book next to him. Pay 150 gold and you can swap from Gnomish to Goblin. Make sure you get your Gnomish Battle Chicken crafted. Right now, World of Logs hasn't, or Warcraft Logs hasn't told us what we're going to be doing in terms of blacklisting logs that have Battle Chicken buffs. So just better safe than sorry. Get it crafted when you're, you know, at the appropriate level with engineering, and then switch to Goblin. That's my recommendation. And then the last tip I want to talk about is cheap enchanting scrolls for leveling. Now, guys, of course, like, you're going to want to get like food buffs and elixirs and things like that to help you when leveling. But when you get gear upgrades, it's really nice to have these enchanting scrolls to enchant your gear. That way you can twink yourself out a little bit when you get upgrades. It's really nice. The ones I'm showing on the screen are just some examples here. I know that Gloves of Major Strength, Chest of Major Spirit, Bracer's Striking, and Bracer's Brawn, these are all dirt cheap. I'm telling you, these are freaking, like, so cheap. So cheap. You may as well have just a couple of them laying around in your bags. That way when you do get a gear upgrade, you can just, you know, enchant it immediately and equip it and be good to go, and not have any delays in your leveling your dungeon groups for that reason. Now I have one last tip, and this isn't necessarily like a big one, but I just want to explain something real quick. When you get to max level and we do Vault of Archivon, which no one has been talking about, it's an 18-man instance on 25-man version. Let me explain that. Vault of Archivon is a spec run raid. It is so easy that you are griefing everyone around you by bringing multiple people of the same spec. That means you should never take 2 DPS DKs. You should never take 2 mages. You should never take 2 rogues. Unless, of course, those guys are just there to collect badges, then sure, go for it. An 18-man VOA consists of 2 tanks, any tanks as long as they aren't the same tank, and then all of your DPS, and then all 4 healers, 1 of each spec. Holy Paladin, Disc or Holy Priest, Resto Druid, Resto Shaman. That's what you take into VOA. That's how you ensure that whenever loot drops, it goes to one person. Boom. This is a Prot Paladin loot that drops. It goes straight to the Prot Paladin. Rogue tier drops. It goes straight to the Rogue. Ret Paladin loot drops. It goes straight to the Ret. That's how you want to do VOA. Don't do it any other way. If you take more than 18 people to your Vault of Archivon and you start doubling down on any of these specs, it's super grief. I just want to make sure that the community knows, like, that's how you do VOA. It's extremely easy. This is how it works the entire expansion. Every single boss is this easy. It's only slightly difficult to hit the enrage timers on these bosses, like the first week of each release of new boss per phase. But it's totally fine, guys. This is how you do VOA. Just wanted to make sure, public service announcement there. All right, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna wrap this one up there so we don't take up too much time. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. It's been a while since I posted a video, so thanks so much for your patience. I do have another video planned that I want to release to you guys here within the next week. But after that, I've got nothing. If you have video ideas, please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to try to take your suggestions and run with them. I also have a Discord server. If you want to join my Discord server, I'm there answering as many questions as I can in terms of, you know, content requests or questions with my UI or questions with any of the classes that I play in Wrath or anything like that at all. Please feel free to join my Discord. We're all hanging out there. It's a good time. Yeah, and guys, thanks so much for all the support. It feels like we've been doing this YouTube stuff for about a year now, and look at where we've made it. Man, we are at 11,000 subscribers, and Wrath is coming out in just a couple weeks. It's surreal. We wouldn't be here without your support. So, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.